anchor today. And on the right side of your screen, you have Matt Hook, which would be Mitchell's father. So Matt made the live stream, but not so much for Mitchell. Mitchell did not make the top 3 today. Did you have problems with this shot today? You were close.
At the start, it was a little hard, but once we started breaking down the pattern, it played pretty nice. It allowed, we have like Josh who went left right away. He was, I think, in front of the ball return on game 2.
Wow.
But then I saw like Cody Larson, he was standing pretty far right for a two-hander actually. I was kind of surprised at how far right he was playing. But then like I was playing in the middle area. So it allowed multiple angles, which really allowed a lot of us to compete, which was really nice. We have, well, Hunter's had a good line, it seems like, all day. I went against him one game and I had it 250, he goes 240 because he opened in the 10th. So I joked.
We're talking about a 7th grader here.
Yeah.
Hunter Pommelier is a 7th grader. Now, Hunter is also the son of Darren Pommelier, who shot 900, so and owns Strike Force Bowl in New Prague. So he's pretty much had his car seat in the bowling center since birth. So we expect it out of him.
Well, and he's out here learning on these sport shots, so it's nice to see. So he's just going to get better and better.
Yeah. On the right side, we have one of our graduates, Josh Kennedy, also bowling that hook.
Well, you said I had to try to grow the adult division.
There you go.
Here he is.
Exponentially.
I got him to 2 of these now.
Perfect.
Last time you weren't here, though.
You know, I was going to bowl in Faribault, and now I can't because I'm going to go to Texas and watch the section all the Wichita's bowling in. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I'd be more excited to watch that. In that case, I'd be like, okay, it's a case of now you're going to go watch your kid bowl. So I'd be more excited in that case.
I know, Riley Howe. Looking forward to coming out too, I'm sure. Riley's actually bowling with Cortez Schenk today in a tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So my kids are kind of spread out all over.
Isn't that always how it seems?
Yes, it is. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
As they get older, it just gets farther and farther apart.
I know. Very exciting today, though, at the USBA tournament. We had people from 4 states here. We had Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and North Dakota, wasn't it? No, South Dakota. Evan, right in front of us. Evan Miller is from South Dakota.
Like last week, we didn't do a live stream, but I think the 3 people who were in the finals were one from La Crosse, Wisconsin, me from Minnesota, and then we had Alec, who was from Iowa. So we had in the finals 3 different states represented.
Very cool. And that's what I love about this. All these guys are going to go on to bowl college against each other, but at these tournaments they're all friends. And I mean, every week there's going to be someone that's going to match up better than other weeks, and it just, you know, that's how it goes. It's how the ball bounces.
I've seen, well, we have Jacob Dunham, who is in my conference for college.
I know.
Yep, so he's just 30 minutes from us, from my college. And we come to this. I was actually surprised I saw him here today. I was not expecting him to come, but...
Bit of a drive, and of course we have the impending doom again tomorrow. Whoever the high seed is can determine if they want to start or finish. Looks like Hunter's decided to let Evan go first. On this side, it looks like Matt has chosen to go first. I believe Matt was the higher seed.
Yeah, he was. Surprising.
I know, I was on the beaches of Cancun last week watching the live stream, and everyone was making fun of me because I was trying to make fun. You know, I'm posting fun on here of you guys too.
Well, you were questioning, because I was also doing commentary, and you're like, who's doing the commentary? I'm like, yeah, it's Mitchell.
My girlfriends laughed at me because they're like, get your headphones off, you're on the beach. And I'm like, I gotta watch the live stream. I gotta watch it.
The beach will be here for a little while.
I know.
It wasn't moving.
I'm tanning up. I gotta watch the live stream.
I probably have that Minnesota winter tan going. Oh, just pale.
Nice shot. Hey, Matt Hook starts it off heavy. Evan struggled a little bit, 2-8-10. That was kind of some of the things that I saw today. If you didn't play this condition reaction to it. There was a lot of cut through. So you either had to get left with your cut through equipment, or you had to get a little bit right with something that went straight.
Well, out of the pure
Or you
luck.
had to be hunter and just be left-handed.
Well, I went pure luck in this, but I chose to bring a ball that normally when I'm throwing on a house shot or a lot of conditions, it normally enters the pocket a little lazy and it hits flat. But it was really working on this pattern, and
And there it was again.
Yep.
The 2A10 by.
Well, he just left the 210.
It was almost the 2A10, the 8 drop. So.
But
Gosh.
I stayed out quite a bit of trouble. I left, I think, 1 210, and I left one, or I think I only left one washout. So I kept it pretty decent to the head pin as best as I could.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And I just noticed that Josh Kennedy was also standing in front of the ball return. So I'm guessing he's thinking these lanes are moving quite well.
I don't know if it's that or the equipment that he's choosing, because I didn't see a lot of kids really getting that far left. It's kind of was just him getting that far left. Because Max Roars has the ability to get left, but watching him his last game, he wasn't too far left. He was still pretty tame.
Yeah, it was a really good group here today, and
It was a very good
we had a little
turnout.
bit of rain on the way in this morning, but depending on what the weather wants to do, we could have anywhere from 6 to 12 inches over the next 2 days. So, welcome to Minnesota in March. Usually it's around the basketball tournaments that we get hit with these crazy weathers, but I guess we're going to get it a little early this year.
You never know with Minnesota's weather. It could happen earlier, it could happen later.
What was it, a couple years ago? Didn't we have a snowstorm in May?
I think so, actually.
I've been having trouble with his hand too. I noticed he had an ice bag on it earlier.
Was that to
Evan
prevent
seems like
swelling?
always does very, very well when he comes up here from South Dakota. He's from the Sioux Falls area, I believe. Yeah, I'm not sure. He just had tape on his hand, he had an ice bag on before.
I don't know. I was looking at the standings and I'm like, I don't recognize that name. So
Yeah, Evan comes to the ones he can get to. That's for sure.
I tend to be at a lot of these.
Oh, we have Melody Greenfeldt watching, who is the Grandview coach. Hello, Melody. Go through some of these. I love it that we have so many people. It's so awesome.
I don't know what got into my dad.
Lori Hook. Oh, gotta be watching Matt because obviously she's not watching Mitchell. Mitchell did not make the cut.
Hey, don't just blame me. My brother's going to make cut too, but he didn't.
Brian McCumsey. Oh, I'm assuming down in Kansas also. Hello, Hannah. Scott Dunham. We got the lacrosse coach. University of La Crosse, Wisconsin watching. Susan Grindy, where are you and why aren't you here? Brian Mano out of Florida. There we go. We were talking about Bowler's Crate earlier today. Thanking Bowler's Crate for being a sponsor of our tournament. Brian Mano, one of the owners of Bowler's Crate. Jake Swanson. I saw him this week. Looks like he was doing a little bit of recruiting, helping Kyle Bischoff out for Mankato.
Well, they're going to sectionals too.
Yeah, Mankato's going to sectionals. Nice. Nikki Hersrud out of the North Dakota Moorhead area. Nikki, always one of our volunteers up in the Northwest route. Thank you, Nikki. Rachel Moe watching from Arizona. I love that, Rachel Moe. Elijah Raymond watching. Elijah, you should be here. You could bowl and you could do live stream.
Yeah, you did the one, what was it, like last year, him and Briley did it.
Hello, Terry and Buddy. That comment came from your mother. So she's completely written you out of the family. And I think it's because your dad now has 3 strikes in a row. And Mitchell, I don't see Mitchell's name up there anywhere.
She knows it's a bluff. We're okay.
Aaron Johnson watching. Premier Mount Mercy bowler out of South Dakota. He's probably watching Evan Miller, I would guess. Did you see that, Aaron? Evan just waved at you. Reese Medor, one of the Dragonflies from Faribault. Hello, Reese. Stephanie Bott's also watching. I'm sure watching Evan Miller. Cody Lovejoy watching. Cody, also a premier Mount Mercy bowler.
Mount Mercy on spring break?
I'm not sure.
Mount
Mercy guys, are you on spring break this week?
Because I think Jacob might be on spring break because I'm on spring break, so I came here.
Nice. Greg Hayden watching. Greg, we had quite a few of your kids here today. We had Bailey. She's in the finals. Where is she? Bailey won her junior gold spot today. And I believe she's bowling flight 2 right now, which would be under Kurt Balbach. B-A-L-B-A-C-H. We also had Aaron Lensmeyer here today. He bowled very well. He's going to be going to Iowa Central. Cody Lovejoy is giving us a report on Midland. No, we're not on spring break yet, Terry. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, we have it pretty early, so.
And Matt, you're not watching. Your father had a ham bone and now an 8 count.
Hey, I saw his last shot. He got lucky in 2007.
He's kicking it over here. He's bowling against a very good bowler, Josh Kennedy.
I'm taking the opportunity I finally can eat. And he ordered food right after we got done, and it just got here a little bit before.
Sean Wagner, Whitewater coach. Recruiter extraordinaire, we're going to call him. Sean Wagner. Sean is going to be helping along with Andy Dirks. He's going to help at our combine this year. They're going to talk about scholarship school versus state school and just kind of the different pieces of getting qualified and when you should qualify, or not qualify, when you should start talking to coaches and such. So thank you, Sean, for helping us out. All right, I believe you can see this course here. Bowlero Lanes is a beautiful center here in Blaine.
It's actually my first time here, so.
Gorgeous. You walk in the front door and there's a huge fireplace. It's like, I wanted to stop there.
I stay there all day.
I know. Very warm and fuzzy house. Huge, but it just doesn't feel huge. It feels the thermals in here are great. So right now, Josh Kennedy up on lane 36. Josh, 3-stepping right now. I guess he believes he has to be deeper. Matt Hook, who he's bowling, is throwing a little bit straighter right now down the lane. Matt Hook's got 109 in the 4th, and Josh Kennedy is going to be somewhere 65 or so. So right now, there's about a 40-pin lead by Matt Hook. By your father.
Yeah, somehow.
Man, he's a good bowler. What happened to you?
He has his day. Okay, in total, I beat him by over 100 pins. So in total, I beat him on the day.
He's getting more street cred right now, though.
Yes. But remember, next year I would be in the adult division.
We may have to have a family bowl-off. I don't know. That might have to be something coming up.
Well, I get my brother, me, and my dad.
And there you go. And I could bring my 2 sons and me, and we could bowl off.
Can we get some handicap back?
Only my sons would say, can we please have our father bowl instead? Even though I'm good. Come on. Oh. All right. On the left side of our screen here, we have the Flight 1 division. The overall leader today was Zach Hansen. Number 2 qualifier was Hunter Pomagier. And he was actually up there in the number 1 spot most of the day. So I'm not really sure what happened. I don't have the scores, but I'm assuming he must have maybe had a bad 5th or 6th game.
Well, I heard you shot at 170, I think, his last game. But I don't know what happened the other game.
And that'll do it with this group. And in 3rd place today, we had, third place today was Evan Miller. So we have, depending on what Evan does here, we could have a pretty close match. Right now it's about a 20-some pin difference. And you know, Hunter's younger, and we're kind of seeing in Hunter what happens with younger. He's all day long, he's been so smooth. The ball's just been releasing off his hand. And now if you're watching him a little bit, he's trying to force it. And that's why we love doing this live stream, because the live stream puts that added layer of pressure on and makes him perform. So, and he's still doing really well. I mean, he's picking up his spares. So,
I don't know. I enjoy the live stream more. I loosen up a little bit more when I get into match play. Because granted, the big thing is do your pre-shot routine and don't rush it. Just because you can bowl faster because it's just two people on a pair doesn't mean you shouldn't take your time in between your shots.
This is true. I was just looking at the bios here. I have the bio for Hunter Pomagier, and I know it says here that his highest sanctioned series is 771, but I think, Hunter, you shot 800 last week. Yeah, 804 last week. That's not bad for being in 7th grade. I mean, what are you going to do? Oh, you're in 8th grade now? See, I called you a 7th grader. You grew up overnight.
I have yet to shoot an 8, so that is very impressive for an 8th grader.
And then Evan Miller, I'm guessing this might be a little bit old because it says highest sanctioned series of 620. I know he bowls in a tougher house, but I know Evan's a better bowler than that too. So we need to get that bio updated.
But you can see in his game that he's a better bowler than a 660 or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for the colleges, Evan wants to be in architecture. He's on the Sioux Falls USBC board, which we love to see. He's going to be graduating in 2018. Has Evan decided where he's going to college at all?
Not yet. He started visit.
Evan is a free agent, coaches. Evan is a free agent. So for those college coaches looking for someone, this was a very talented field today. And every time Evan comes over from Sioux Falls, he impresses us. He always does well. And that's Evan Miller.
North Dakota had a team last year, which would be north of them. But this year they did not have a team, so I don't know if he wants to stay close. But there are quite a few options in the Midwest, but not too many. I don't think so, but I didn't catch it for sure.
So
he said it.
Are you getting it reset? Okay.
And we got a 9-pin on 35.
Yeah. We'll delay a game on the left-hand side. But in the meantime, let's look over at the adult division. Our adult division's not bad either.
Yeah, let's.
One of the Hook family is doing very well.
He's trying to catch up from what I bowled earlier.
I've only known him for 85 years. I was reprimanded for calling Hunter Pomagier or Pomagier, I don't know. Pomagier. I'm just gonna go Pomagier from now on.
Exactly, that works.
We
There's
would
my
harass
dad.
him more. Oh, come
There's
on!
my dad.
Come on! You're fired.
Nah, you would do the same thing if you were in this position. Me and him, when we do
I
youth
believe
adult
we're getting a 9-pin
tournaments,
set up on 33, I hope. Here.
when we do youth adult tournaments together, me and him just go back and forth teasing each other. Except for he did make a very good run at it.
Cody Deppa! Cody Deppa says hi. He is also a Mount Mercy bowler. Diane Pekarski, hello Diane, we just added you. I missed someone. No, wait, where's Josh Livingston? Did you see what he put on there? Mitchell Hook, you rock.
Josh.
Come on.
Suck. You wouldn't normally say that. Or not to my face, you wouldn't say that. you might say that I rock over live stream, yes. In person, you might have other words.
Wow.
And there we go. My head's a rock.
Mitchell has a job because he's going to be aging out here shortly. So he has a job to build our adult division. So his first addition was his father, and his father's doing very good today. Very, very well. All right, so let's look at the update over here on the Flight 1 side. We have Evan Miller with a 95 in the 6th, and depending on what Hunter does, he's going to have at least 100. And so Hunter's got about a 5-pin lead.
Yeah,
We're going to call him Hunter Palma. Yay! All right, so he spares this, and he will have about a 5-pin lead.
And both guys, Josh went late, and so did Hunter here.
It's really exciting to me to see how far the depth that is growing in this tournament. I mean, if you look down at the Flight 2 bowlers too, we had Flight 2 in 4th place was Aaron Lensmeyer, then in 3rd was Bailey Gherkin, 2nd Cooper Tate, 1st Tony Payne. I mean, those 4 are normally up in Flight 1, so that's what I meant by depth. And then we have Corey Ballback in Flight 3, Drew in Flight 3, Ryan Frechette in Flight 3. I mean, our overall Flight 3 leader was Tyler Vandaloon, and that's a whole lot of talent really deep there, so it's pretty exciting.
And Hunter coming back with a strength.
Nice!
But even last week, there were a lot of Minnesota tournaments going on, and we were down in Mason City, Iowa. So we didn't have as big of a turnout as normal, but still the kids that showed up, it was very competitive in that flight. I averaged 228 that day and was 2nd qualifier.
Wow.
It was, so even when there isn't as big of a turnout, we are having still a very competitive tournament.
Yeah. I feel bad for Josh Kennedy. He bowled really well today. And Matt Hook has definitely got him beat in about the 8th frame. So it's fun though to see the adults bowl as well as they do. I know we're missing Bob Prino today. Bob normally bowls. We're missing Doug Thompson and Paul Davidson. They normally come and bowl, but this is quite a ways north for the normal people. We're North Metro here.
I come this way a lot though, even though I'm down in that area now of southeast.
Yeah. Well, some of us don't think much about traveling, like me, but
well, I come up then and I can go home for the weekend too.
Well, I was thinking that I know Bob Reno, I think they said there was a youth event in Winona today, so it could be that he's down there. He may be live streaming it for him, so I would expect to see that probably too. So at some point today on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know for sure or not if there's something in Winona, but there might be. Because then Justin would probably be there.
Our junior gold winners today our junior gold winner today was Bailey Gherkin, and our alternate was Ryan Frechette. So we pretty much qualified someone every single week. We have this year the USBA Flight Tournament has qualified 45 youth bowlers for junior gold, and I'm very proud to say when this was just a I don't know. Well, I don't even know what you would say. Kind of a thought in the back of our heads. We've now given away $60,000 in scholarship money. It's a big deal.
Well, I remember before this tournament was done, we had the CMJTT, SMJTT.
Right.
I did quite
Kara
a few
Bischoff
stuff.
used to run.
Yep.
Kara and Dave.
And
Which
then,
is cool that now Kyle Bischoff is the Mankato coach. That would be Kara's brother. Dave was a Mankato bowler also. So was his sister Janet, who was on one of my national teams. Probably 3 or 4 of my national teams. I bowled for Mankato also.
there's a lot of bowling out of Mankato.
Yeah.
I don't know too many past players from Winona, but I know the team now, but I don't know too many people from before.
The mayor of Rochester bowled for Winona. That would be Tim Mayer. Greg Faulkner bowled for Winona.
Well, now his son
Steve Koner bowled for Winona.
Colin
Cam Koner bowled for Winona.
Faulkner used to bowl for Winona.
Yeah, Colin
goes to Whitewater,
Yep.
which is obviously a very good school to go to for bowling.
That whole little corner down there in Winona is, I love going down there. It is so warm and fuzzy, and those bowlers, it's almost like going back into the 1950s. They still breathe and sleep and eat bowling, and they have, you know, a city competition, all-city competition with lacrosse, which I think is really fun, like an across the river competition. It's really fun to go down to that area. I really enjoy that center.
Well, even looking at the area itself, it's fun to go. Like in Wabasha, there's the Eagle Center.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to see, and you can go hiking, and there's a lot. I find that there's a lot of stuff to do to keep busy when I'm not bowling. But that's more of the thing is I'm almost always bowling.
Yeah. It's beautiful down there. I just taught in Wabasha Tuesday. I did a training camp in training day, one of our training day classes that USBA does. I taught it in coordination with Jim O'Reilly, and then Brendan Howe taught with me. And I drove right by the Eagle Center. It's just beautiful. If anyone, it's like they talk about one-tank trips. That is a definite one-tank trip. So it's way, way worth it.
I drive by it all the time coming home. So.
Right now, Hunter Pommier is 153 in the 10th.
So we'll keep it on the lane, and Chris will win.
Yep.
And Brandon electing to start in our final for the adults.
Brandon Brown, our overall leader for the adults today. Brandon and Josh Kennedy, both products of the youth tournaments in our area.
Well, Josh just last year was doing youth tournament, so he's just freshly up to the adult status.
And Evan Miller sticks it out to go on into the championship round. It looked like it was going to be a Hunter match all the way through, and
it was
Hunter,
back and forth.
A little bit of trouble, yeah. A little bit of trouble on the end.
They really did. Towards the end, they both had chances.
And we've talked so much about Evan too, but Hunter, just an absolute great kid, and we so enjoy having him in this group. He's just always joking. That's why we make so much fun of him.
Yeah. Well, he always comes over to me and starts talking. So
I know. When I told you I was on the beach watching live stream, I heard Hunter in the background, and he was talking at one point.
Yeah, Hunter came over by the live stream too, and he started adding in. Granted, I was then in the finals in that one, so I had to go away from the mic a little bit, so I didn't catch everything he probably
Oh, because you were in the finals?
Yeah, I was still in the finals.
Kind of like your dad is right now.
It was me and Max. Well, actually, my dad was in the first finals, but then he got knocked out right away. But well, he was in the first
finals
match
longer
play.
than he was.
Yeah, because I actually I was high qualifier, so I was going for the actual final, but he made it to match play, but got knocked out in the first round.
Got it.
So I was actually, that was kind of why I was also doing commentaries, because I ended up going over to watch my dad, and then Josh just said, "Oh, you can do the commentary with me."
I'm sure he was fine with that. Josh doesn't
Yes.
much care for that part of his job when I'm not here.
He's not the big talker.
Like next weekend.
Very much. Well, River, was it? I'm not sure. Up in Detroit Lakes, he let me pretty much do the live stream on my own. He's like, "You can pretty much do it. I'll get it running, whatever. Then you can pretty much
Just have
go
at
for
it. Yeah. Good practice. Good practice.
Yeah, he jumped me in 3 pairs at once in my second time.
That's a little bit hard.
Yes, it was interesting keeping up with that.
So on the right-hand side now, our competition has started, and we have Brandon Brown coming in, who is our overall adult leader today. And he is taking on Matt Hook. Matt Hook, who just beat Josh Kennedy handily. On the flight 1 side, we have Evan Miller, who is nursing, I see an ice bag, so he's nursing something on his hand. And he is now in the finals against Zach Hansen. So Zach Hansen, I believe, is also a UW lacrosse bowler. Because I believe he did come up here with
That's
Jacob
what I thought. Like when I saw you,
So right now, on the left-hand side, Zach is just throwing his practice shots. Trying to see what he can get away with.
yeah, these are just practice shots.
And again, you know, a little bit tighter line, a little more spinny, and a little bit closer in, a little tighter here for Zach, and that's how he won today. He kept it close. I think if you went big, you were at the risk of the 2-8-10 or the 2-10.
That's almost the line I was actually playing, but I just had a little bit more angle, so I opened it up a little bit more. I was looking who it.
Here comes our third member to the team, Hunter Palmer. Yay!
Yeah, we mentioned that you were going to commentary the one day while I was
So what exactly happened, Hunter? When you got into the finals here?
Well, I bowled game 6 over.
Come closer.
Come on, get closer.
I bowled on 33 and 34 game 6. I didn't have a good reaction shot, 170, so I tried switching balls and it didn't pan out.
This didn't work. So you, game 6, you were 33, and then you had to come back here for the finals. Nice draw. Dean got a draw like that a couple weeks ago in a tournament.
It's great when it's good and pain, but when it sucks.
Right. When it's not something you can match up to, you know, topography is probably off just a little bit. Yeah, I get it.
Well, it seemed like all of a sudden during one of the games, there was one game I had to jump 3 to 4 boards right when I got on that pair. So, depending, although then it seemed consistent with every pair after that.
Yeah.
So, the look might have just been a little different on that pair.
Brandon doing okay here on the right-hand side, but he's kind of choosing the same route that, or closer to what Josh Kennedy was throwing. And I guess he's throwing a little bit more direct, but that is a spare ball. So I'll have to watch the first ball. But like,
he doesn't open his. Josh really likes to hook the lane.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon will probably. What you'll see is he'll probably keep it tighter and a little bit better. He'll still swing the ball more like Josh, but he won't get it quite as far outside, and he'll keep his break point closer to the head.
He's a little loopy, but tighter.
Yes.
Yeah. And Zach is super tight. Evan was pretty tight also.
Because actually looking at Brandon, that's about the line I played compared to Zach, who is keeping it very tight. But if I would have tried keeping it that tight, I know it would have just gone left on me. Because that's just the way it reacts for me.
Yeah. Pretty much what your dad's doing too, playing just a real down and in shot. Now this was Dead Man's Curve, I think it was, 43 feet long. The pattern seemed to stay down though, but it was pretty good reverse soil. I think it was about 10 mils of reverse soil.
It was really that one game that I only had to jump in. Besides that, I almost didn't move pretty much the whole day. Then it was just down to making consistent shots.
And there was the pattern looked like it was playable from a lot of angles, but only scoreable from certain angles, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's how you carry. Because at the start, like I said, I kind of struggled. And it was because there were shots that I was throwing, and it went 10-10, and it was a very good shot, so I decided to move right. But then when I moved right, it just went through the nose. So I was battling that the first game. Once it opened up, it allowed it to carry. But at the start, it really you had to be tighter, and you really had to hit the 1 point to strike.
Hunter, what was it like on the left-hand side?
Pretty much they had to play straight up. Couldn't hook it a lot because it wouldn't have a breakdown.
How many left-handers did we have today? You, Jordan,
and 4 I saw, I think.
More than normal, I think. More than normal. Mark London is watching. Mark London is now, he moved from Houston to the Illinois area. He is a writer for the Bowlers Journal. Love that you're watching, Mark.
5 frames over on the adult side, it looks like we're going to have a very close and good match.
Wow, they are close.
It's just some count on spare shot after their spare shots. That's the difference right now.
Brandon is saying too on the right-hand side, he just stepped in and said carry is definitely an issue. Yeah, get too far to the right, it doesn't come back. We now have Andy Dirks on live. Andy Dirks would be the head coach for Mount Mercy. Nice to see you're on here, Andy. I was chatting with some of your boys earlier. I know Cody Deppa was on, and Cody Lovejoy, and Aaron Johnson. Shannon Salzman, her daughter bowls, Ashley bowls for Mount Mercy.
I bowled her in the sweeper actually last weekend.
You did?
It was me and her in the finals of the sweeper actually. She won, but I was having
girl power.
I have more fun at the
girl
sweepers.
Power.
I like going and talking to Pam Barnes, who does a lot for the youth.
Absolutely. Pam does a lot for the youth. You know,
well,
those of us who believe in this are out here all the time. I wouldn't do anything different. On the right-hand side, we have a 3-pin game right now between Brandon Brown and Matt Hook. On the left-hand lane, Zach's just got a nice little down and in hold there. He's not playing much of anything, but it's what scored today.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I always say winning and losing happens in a random succession you can't control. Everybody comes here wanting to win and wanting to line up and wanting to get their equipment to match up. And, you know, sometimes it just doesn't happen to the extent you want it to as much as you try, so.
And even Zach, he just left 210 there.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone ran into that issue at one point. It was trying to keep that to a minimum. And then when you have a spare, make them. Because there were going to be those openings.
Right, right. Patty McGurr is watching. Patty is one of our USBA coaches now, her and her husband, Darvin. They both helped coach the Otters team last week at the USA Tournament, U15 tournament, and the Otters won the consolation. They were consolation champions last weekend, excuse me. Which is very exciting because it was a very young team, and we really wanted to get up against the Clams, but we really never bowled the Clams all day long, which was sad. We really wanted to go up against them, but you know, these guys, the Clams are all going to age out, I believe, except for Hunter. Hunter will still be in it.
Yeah.
And our little guys are going to be a year older and a year smarter, so kind of excited about that.
And Chris throwing. The last 2 shots were very good from Chris. Granted, he did have coming in. He has a game coming in now on this pair, so he might be feeling a little more comfortable for this game. And my dad getting lucky with the blue pen.
Well, your dad's, he's helping it a little bit more than he was before. He was kind of letting it roll before.
Well, his last shot, he missed it right. Like, every once in a while, he's on a lot of shots, he does not have as much hand as a lot of us younger guys do.
Yeah.
So you'll always see him playing the little bit straighter line. And right now, that can be an issue. When he wants it to finish, he might not be able to get it finished because he's throwing an aggressive equipment while I was throwing a mild ball.
Right.
Because I don't know, I think he has an aggressive layout too on that ball, but he's just watching his shots. I think he's having a hard time getting the ball to finish. And he's covering his spares. That's what he needs.
These adults over here are doing exactly what I would like to teach all the kids over here what to do, and that is they're covering their spares. Exactly right. I played low ball with some of our girls this week at girls practice, and they're like, we don't want to play this. This is too hard. I said, I just want you to get 120 or less. And that's pretty doable. And they were like, oh gosh, this is so hard. This is so hard. And I picked up a house ball in my regular street tennis shoes and got an 80. You know, I mean, come on, people. It's not that hard. But then they said, well, you've been bowling for at least 20 years. I'm like, add about 30 to that and you're going to be right. So, little bit of experience. I started bowling at age 3 and I'm 54. So that would mean I've been bowling a long time.
Well, last week at the flight, I went first 5 games clean, which to me was surprising. But to me, that just reinforces how big spares are.
Yes.
We were averaging 220, so yes, it was a strike fest. But there was one game where I shot clean and it was a 190. So
And
I
this is
grinded
what I was
that
trying to
game
get.
out.
Yeah, this is what Evan's doing right now is what I was trying to get across to so many of the kids. The back ends were really flying, and when you'd have anything in your hand that had a hockey stick motion to it, it would overreact and cut through. So if you'd go ball down or go deep or just back off, like that ball looked like it was going to completely go up to the head pin and, you know, it would split. And what it does is it just tightens in and blows out the 8-9 in the back.
Well, the biggest thing what I like to see when I'm watching bowlers, nowadays so many kids try to do so much with the ball. I like
Less
to
is
see
more.
when they keep it simple, and yeah, less is more. My dad would be on the less side, and
Woo!
he's getting
Look
very
at how close
long.
this adult match is. Right now it's 152 to 156. We have a 4-pin match over here on the adult side. If Matt gets a double, he's gonna force Brandon to strike again.
Brandon does have the strike working, so he does have that.
Spare. 76. He's gonna force him to spare strike, spare 5. Oh! Still going to be a good game, 70-90. Brandon's still got to finish this game out. At 91-92, Brandon, if he just spare strikes, would be 76-96. So depending on what he does, he strikes, he wins. Nice job by your dad, though. Especially getting strong arm to bowl it. Look at how good he's doing.
Well, the last time he bowled it, he was like, I don't know if I can take this. My back is...
Did you see me bowling? I'm not bowling either. Same thing. I'm like, wow.
Come on, Terry, I'll recruit you next.
I'm next.
Well, actually, your son's got credit for working on you first.
Oh. Before the season's over, I'm going to be there. I promise.
Yep, and Brandon will take the win with that strike.
Yep. So we have our overall adult champion, Brandon Brown, taking second, Matt Hook, and taking third would be Josh Kennedy. So
This Brandon just needs to keep it out of the lane now.
and I thought it was pretty cool today, too. I was announcing the junior gold, and the kids going off to junior gold, and Brandon Brown looked at me and he said, how about announcing the kids that are going off to Syracuse? Because he is now an adult. And it is very exciting to see our kids go off now to the Open and get out there and bowl with the big boys. So, good place for that. We got our guys taking their time over here a little bit more on the flight 1. Both of these guys seem like they have pretty chill personalities.
Yeah. They don't show too much emotion either.
No.
They keep it kind of cool and collective. Granted, I'm always socializing, so I don't always. So we had
Mark London says he's going to vouch for my experience. Hey, I used to be good, didn't I, Mark? Kind of when you've been there, done that, you know, I keep trying to come back, but my kids are more important, and all of my kids in this group are more important. So me spending time setting up things for them is more important to me now than me spending time on the practice pair. So that's how it goes. Hey, I'm still not bad. I still average 210 or so, 220, 215. Nice shot.
That's a good match too going on.
Very, very good.
It's pretty much a 3-pin match.
We had a really nice, huge group of junior gold bowlers here today too. We always announce our junior gold bowlers, and then we add the most recent winner to that group, and our group was really large today. It was awesome.
Well, it always seems like it's growing.
And
More
Mitchell,
and more we go doing.
and Mitchell always has to remind me to announce the
The
college. I need a good name for that. I can't ever remember. You're like youth. They're not really youth advisors. You're not really life coaches. I always announce the college kids and tell them that they're down there to help all the other kids, especially the newbies, learn how to do this. So I just need a really good pop
I
word.
would say like maybe just say mentors or something.
Superheroes. Mentors, exactly. Mentors.
Get us all capes and we'll bowling
Yes! Bowling caves. You know, ask what, you know, you should be scared when you ask for things like that from me.
There was
Here we go, Mark London. You are the bomb, and mic drop before there were mic drops to drop. You might have been around for my singing days, too.
Terry, there was a day where we had for youth league, when I was back at Monticello doing youth leagues, that it was our pre-Halloween party. And I showed up in tights, short shorts, and a tutu. So don't question what I will wear while I'm bowling. And Lisa Kimmer, who was my high school director at the time.
Love Lisa. I'm sure she just
Yeah.
loved that too.
She was telling me, oh, I'll let you show up to a high school match looking like that. Like, I'll let you wear the tutu while you're bowling high school. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do that. But she's like, I shot 660, I think, that morning or something. She's like, look, you don't bowl bad when you wear that. I also had a wig that I wore for a couple games, too. So everyone there had a good laugh with that.
I shot 290 in a witch costume once.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you say to that?
Well, those tights were really difficult for me to work with.
Oh, come on. We have to wear them all the time.
I don't think I'm wearing tights again.
Michael Harlow is watching. Michael Harlow, thank you. Also one of our volunteers up on the northwest area, I believe. Gosh, we're headed, at the end of March, I think we're headed back up to, I want to say Red River Lanes. I don't have it in front of me, so we'll see Michael that go around.
Well, then in April, eventually we get to Monticello.
Oh, do we? Are we
Yeah.
at River City Extreme in April?
Yeah, because I actually was looking at that yesterday. We're there, and then the next week, the MJBT, which a lot of these kids, when sometimes there's those MJBTs, we don't have as many kids here because they're at the MJBT then because they're not as often, so we go to those sometimes. But
Yeah,
those
and
are
I'm
2 weeks in a row at Monticello.
Complete supporter of that. That's why when the MJ weekend's on, we try to be way up in North Dakota or way down in Iowa so that we're not pulling from this metro area. And our mission outside of here is to try to get these bowlers, you know, like the Evan Millers that are coming from South Dakota, and roll them into bowling the MJs, into bowling our other tournaments. So this is really, really a grassroots effort, and we've spread our wings out so that the roots are growing. It's very exciting for me to see all this roll out. So.
Well, and it helps the kids get to know more people, too.
Absolutely.
And then, like, when we go to Junior Gold, we don't know just people from Minnesota.
Right.
We'll know some of these kids from South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin.
It's one big family.
We're just kind of expanding everywhere it goes.
Well, it's what I always say. It's not the winning and losing that you need to happen here. It's the network that you build and the friends that are going to last with you a lifetime. And I do. I have Kelly Smith Ellis. Her daughter is in my high school program. She was one of my college roommates and college team members. And still see her very often. Lori Sklzacek Henze, Adam Henze's mom, Tyler Henze's mom. Those kids are in the program also. And Lori was one of our bowlers for Mankato State.
Well, like how this tournament's run, the check-in starts in an hour before. And I'm always like, I'm going to get there the hour before because that's my social hour for the day. Even though I socialize throughout bowling too. But that's when I can meet up, and I know that I'm going to be able to meet up when we're moving left.
Ooh.
Sometimes we'll never meet up with some of our friends.
Right.
So that way I can make sure I reach all my friends and can talk to them at one point or another.
It's awesome. This whole group is so much fun too. They enjoy being around each other. You can't see the goofy antics going off to the left here, but I think they're making a bowler pyramid, or they were.
Yeah, I
wonder
don't know.
who
I
won down
haven't-
there. I didn't see who the champions were of flight 2 and 3.
Didn't either, but I mean, I saw that Cooper shot a good game to make it to the finals, and now I see that there's a 242 on that pair, but I don't know whether that was Cody or if it was.
Was it Cody and Cooper against each other?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was Cody versus Cooper.
Tony. Might have been Tony Payne.
Oh yeah, Tony.
Who won over there?
Who won? Yeah, it was Tony. I was mixing them up. I was thinking two-hander. What?
And Zach has bowled so well
Tony
all
won.
day long. He's led the field the last 2 games. And Hunter Pommier really pushed it.
Oh, here we go.
And, oh gosh, Briley just sent me a message saying, not a good day. But Tez bowled all right. So Cortez Shank and Briley were bowling in Tulsa, Oklahoma today. Kind of fun.
So we got Tony over Cooper, and then
So Tony
was-
Payne won flight 2.
it was
and
Tyler over Drew.
Tyler Vanderloon over Drew Dietrich in flight 3. So we have Tony Payne was a winner, Tyler Vanderloon was a winner, and it looks here like Evan Miller from South Dakota is also going to be a winner.
You got,
Yeah,
you got very
there we go.
comfortable.
And like I said, he's nursing. You would never know it, but he's had an ice pack and nursing something with his
Well,
hand.
He was trying to keep the swelling on his thumb down, and then his knee was also a little hurt, but he bowled very well.
Very,
And
very well.
Sometimes,
He overcame his issues.
sometimes it's better to be the second, third seed. That way you get comfortable on the pair before the championship match.
Woohoo!
So there are advantages to being second or third.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice finish here for Evan Miller, and will be the overall Flight 1 champion of the day. We'll let him see the final, and then cap it with one more strike. And then we are off for today. And Messenger fails. Nice job.
But it really,
Evan Miller, your overall Flight 1 champion. Brandon Brown was your overall adult champion. We have Tony Payne was Flight 2, and it looks like Tyler Vanderloon, Flight 3. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mitchell Hook, again, for helping us out. Thank you, Hunter Pommier, for helping us out. We always like to, I don't know where Hunter went. He snuck out.
disappeared.
We always like to hear the left-hand side of the lane story. So thank you so much for helping out. Next weekend, we are going to be at J&J Bowling Center in Faribault. I am going to be watching my son Briley in Texas, so I will not be here. He will be at the ITC, or I think it's called ITC Sectionals.
I believe so.
I'm a little bit of a newbie at this, so I think that's what it is. And it's the intercollegiate sectionals anyway. Briley
Yep.
will be in Dallas at USA Bowl, I believe. And it looks like if Mitchell's here, he's going to have to be the color commentary. You and Hunter. You and Hunter.
You know, I think Hunter will take that challenge with me.
I think he will. I think he does a
he'd
very
be
good
happy
job.
to.
I think he's a very good job. All right, guys. Yes, ITC, Mark London says. Thank you, Mark London. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. We had a great crowd. Coaches who are on here, please go to our, later on today, we'll have everything on our YouTube channel. I believe it's USBA Bowling or United States Bowling Academy Bowling.
And subscribe, right?
Please subscribe to our
I did.
channel. We should have been talking about that because we need to have a few more names in order to have our own designated channel. Please jump on there, and everyone have a great day. I know I'm going to have a great day. Hopefully Snowmageddon doesn't happen. Oh, I don't know where. Oh, gosh. Now we got a college competition here.
I
We
tried
got
getting the window.
Winona, we got Weber, we got lacrosse. We got 2 lacrosse guys. Darn it.
See, I wear my jersey.
And they're all, this is what I said before though, you know, these guys all compete against each other at the collegiate level, and then they come here and just have a blast together. So I love it. I wouldn't do anything else on a Sunday. And thank you so much. Have a great Sunday afternoon, and bye-bye for now.